Hey, what's up, everybody? Shinwar here with Geeking Out, and I know it's been a long time. Had some personal things I had to deal with. I hope you guys are doing well during this quarantine, staying safe and healthy. I know it hasn't been any new comic book days for the past few weeks. But I always said I was gonna do another video. And what we're gonna do is for today, and probably the next week or in the following week, I'm gonna show you some of my CGC signature series books that I acquired over the years, and see if I can recall where I got it signed at. So let's see what we got. So first we have Justice League #1. This is a New 52 reboot. This was signed by Jim Lee. This was not pressed, got a 9.0. I still have to press this. It was kind of when I just got back into the comic book game per se. Got back into the collecting hobby. And I was like, yeah, maybe I don't need to get this pressed, but I do. I want to score higher. But I got this signed by Jim Lee. See if you can see there. Where did I get this? Big Apple Con. Jim Lee was there, and I remember it was bananas. It was in New York. It was bananas, and I think it was like they were taking like 50 people at a time. It was ridiculous, and I made the cutoff. And I got this signed, and you'll see another book that I got in here signed. But yeah, Justice League #1, New 52 reboot, signed by Jim Lee. Very nice guy, by the way. Very nice guy. Next up, we have X-Men #25. Everybody remembers this issue. Wolverine lost his adamantium. Got a 9.0. This was not signed neither. This is actually before the Justice League book. This was signed by Fabian Nicieza. Where was this signed at? Oh gosh. New Jersey Comic Book Expo. Yes. Very nice guy. You know him from Deadpool and other numerous X titles. But yeah, got him to sign this, and 9.0. I need to get these pressed. Let's see. This is one of my favorites. Next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man #1. This was signed by Clayton Crane, and also got a sketch. Got a sketch on there, really nice. This was pressed, and I was upset that it came back at 9.6. I have a blue label that came back at 9.8, but this one came back at 9.6. But nonetheless, love Clayton Crane's artwork and signature style. This was done at Boston Comic Expo back in 2018. Yep, really nice there. And then also, I just got the regular signature on this one. No remark. And same thing, Boston Comic Expo. Signed by Clayton Crane. This was by the Scorpion Comics booth. Yeah. Really nice. 9.6 as well. I was like, what? And that was pressed. Can't believe it. Next up, one of my favorites, Batman #1, New 52 reboot. Signed by Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. 2017. This was New York Comic Con. Was a pleasure meeting those gentlemen. Pleasure to take a picture, and I had a book signed. I love the gold that they both used here. Really nice. Let's see. Next up we have, Incredible Hulk #92. This is the start of the Planet Hulk storyline by Greg Pak. Greg Pak signed this 2017 September. This was Baltimore Comic Con. That was my first year there, actually. First year there, and was able to get him to sign. This was not pressed because they had on-site grading, and came back at 9.6. Very happy about that. Love the Hulk. Oh yeah, next up we have Dark Knight's Metal. This was the midnight release, signed by Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder. Also as well with the Batman #1. This was at New York Comic Con back in 2017. Slick right there. 9.8, that was pressed. Let's see. Amazing Spider-Man #2. J. Scott Campbell edition. This is cover E. Oh yeah, and then you have Miles Morales holding Gwen Stacy. Signed by J. Scott Campbell on August 27, 2018. Where was that? You know, it's funny. This one I picked up signed already, slabbed and everything. This was at New York Comic Con. It was 2018. Yeah, 2018. I bought this. I remember I bought this outright, just like how it is. All right, let's see. Next up, we have Superman Unchained #1, signed by Jim Lee, just like the other one at Big Apple Con back in March 2017. Yep, signed by Jim Lee. Really nice there. And I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but I had this book and I was just like, oh yeah, what book did Jim Lee work on? Aha. This is a personal favorite of mine. Amazing Spider-Man #375. Classic hollow foil cover, Spider-Man versus Venom. The final fight, final confrontation as they were labeling it. But what's so special about this is signed by Stan Lee. I got this signed at Rhode Island Comic Con 2016. I tried to get a picture with them. They weren't having it, but you can see right there, Stan Lee. You know, his signature was okay. Yeah, Stan Lee. I don't know if you can see that there. But I know it's not like a big book, hot book, but this was like the only, once again, it was when I was getting back into comic collecting. This was like the only book that I could think of at the time. I was like, oh, what would I want him to sign? And got a 9.2. Don't think I had this pressed. I need to probably come back at 9.4, but nonetheless, that's a personal favorite of mine, Stan Lee. It's the only book I got signed by Stan Lee. Let's see, we have Amazing Spider-Man Venom Inc. Omega #1. This is the Tyler Kirkham variant. Emerald City Comic Con 2018 exclusive. I was not there. I had a friend of mine from the West Coast pick it up for me. They were having on-site grading, and he was able to get it signed for me. Tyler Kirkham. So yeah, 9.8. Love it. It's gonna be a long video, by the way. Sorry. I'm just gonna do this first batch, this first box, and then the other videos will be the other ones. So let's see. Next up, we have X-Men #1, classic Jim Lee, 90s style. Signed by Jim Lee, Big Apple Con 2017. This was not pressed, by the way, and it came back at 9.6. So I might just get it pressed just so get a 9.8. But yeah, really good. And it's a special collector's edition. It's a wraparound cover. I don't know. Let's see. Next up, we have Hulk #1. First appearance of Red Hulk, signed by Ed McGuinness. This was at Baltimore Comic Con 2017. Love this cover. Big Hulk fan. It was a pleasure meeting Ed McGuinness. And this was not pressed because it was on-site grading, 9.4. There's another one on the list to be pressed. Let's see. Next up, we have Suicide Squad #1, signed by Jim Lee, Big Apple Con, back in 2017 in March. Once again, there were books. So I was like, oh, what can I get Jim Lee to sign that I, knew he worked on? And came back at 9.2. This was not pressed. This is a reboot per se. And I don't know. I might get this pressed. I have to see. So really good there. Going back to the Hulk #1, and and I forgot. I think that other one was. Yeah, that was the variant, and this is the regular cover of Hulk #1. Signed by Ed McGuinness, Baltimore Comic Con 2017. Was not pressed. Got a 9.0. This one I'm definitely going to send in. Hopefully I get a 9.4 at least with the pressing. And keeping in step with the Hulk, I'm actually gonna do these in order. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about that. I am missing the other one. It's somewhere. Anyway, let's just do these. All right, World War Hulk number 2. This is part 2 of 5. I have one. I actually thought it was in this batch. I gotta find it. But this came back in 9.6. This was also at Baltimore Comic Con when I met Greg Pak. It was so awesome. I geeked out. He was like one of my favorite writers. And this is the World War Hulk storyline. Came back 9.6 on-site grading. Issue number 3. Greg Pak, 9.8. I was shocked by that. I was like, what? Issue number 4 came back at 9.6. Signed by Greg Pak. And issue number 5 came back at 9.8. And that concludes the World War Hulk storyline. So happy to get these signed. Such a great individual to meet. Let's see, moving on. We have Edge of Venomverse number 1. Signed by Greg Horn. This is the Unknown Comics exclusive variant. This was signed at Baltimore Comic Con. I was like making my rounds. Baltimore Comic Con 2017. And it was great to meet Greg Horn. Love his work. This was cover A. Then you have, actually, wait, had them out of order. Cover B, 9.8. And cover C, this came back at 9.2. I'm gonna have to get this pressed. These are all on-site graded. Yep. I didn't even know anything about pressing at the time. And I gotta show you cover D. That's in another box. I'll show that in another video. And getting close to the end here, folks. One of my favorites, Incredible Hulk number 377. Came back a 5.0, and I'm gonna tell you why I came back a 5.0. I didn't know anything about pressing. I had this book for the longest. There are like color breaks and everything. Probably can't see here, but color breaks all along the spine. This was signed by Peter David, New Jersey Comic Expo 2016. This is like one of the first books that I got signed ever, but it was still a pleasure to meet Peter David. Came back a 5.0, and I was just like, but whatever. I'm cool with it. And last but not least from this batch, Amazing Spider-Man number 361, signed by Mark Bagley, New Jersey Comic Expo 2016. Once again, I didn't know anything about pressing, had it pressed, came back a 5.5. Yep. There are like color breaks and rips all across. That's fine though. This is for the PC collection. But I do have I think I have a 9.8. Yeah, 9.6, 9.8 blue label, so I'm fine. So, yeah. So that's it for part 1, guys. Thank you for viewing. It's good to be back. Hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. And just take care of yourselves and take care of each other, folks. I will catch you next time. Have a great week and have a great weekend. Peace.